So how you doing? My name's Rick Carlson. I'll be the social worker working with you here at the social work office on post. What is it that you like to be called?
Anna Rodriguez.
Anna's fine then?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you really do for fun when you're not stressed out about your problem?
Well, I like to work out. Seems that working out gets me through my, problems, or gets my mind off of things.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of skipping forward a little bit, but what is it exactly that brings you here?
Well, over the years, and my husband's been in the military 18 years, and through those 18 years, we have probably moved a good maybe 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my problem is that every time that we move, I seem like I have just gotten my foot in the door somewhere, or just gotten my real estate license somewhere, and money, cost, time, and then next thing you know, we're turning around and moving again, which is through the military called PCSing, or permanent change of station. And for me, it just seems like my husband's career has progressed, and for myself and my kids are doing well in school. They always achieve and always do well with the changes, but I have to just start all over again. It seems that I go back to minimum wage. I have to start all over, get to meet new people, not with just work, but friends and family and whatnot. So it's very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you brought pretty much all your family up. How does the rest of your family kind of look at this? Do they get excited? Do they feel the same way as you do? How do they react every time you guys have to move locations?
Well, I think for the most part, my family enjoys different places, and we get to see new states, and they enjoy the move, and not necessarily. I do enjoy the move. It's just having to start all over again where I left off, and seeing everybody else progress but myself. But as far as everybody else, we all do well finding, in the new state that we're in. So, yeah.
Okay, so just so I understand kind of what you're telling me is you've kind of explained that you guys got to move every couple of years, and along with that is you have to start over at a new job. The kids have to start over in new schools. It's really a new job for your husband. You've changed careers. You get going in one and you kind of change, and then it's the stress of moving after you just kind of get settled. If you were to pick maybe out of those, what do you think is your top one stress? Like when you wake up in the morning, what is the one thing that you dread more than any of the rest of them?
I'd say career for myself. Mm-hmm. My boys, I have 2 boys, and my husband seem to do well with the changes, and for me it's the career. And where I look back, and I am 37, and it just seems that I don't know where my life has, or where is it at. Most people at 37 years old have an established career, and for me, I have to start at the bottom, minimum wage and whatnot, and I'm really tired of that. Mm-hmm. So at this duty station, it seems that I don't want to go back and fall back where I've been before, so I decided to go back to school, and that is so nerve-wracking at the age of 37. So it's very stressful. So as far as career, that's just my big thing for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So have you talked to your husband about this?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. He knows.
So as you explain to him that specific problem, what's his reaction? How does he feel about that?
He's my biggest supporter. He's amazing, and has helped me throughout the years. I think he feels bad that because of his career, I'm having to put mine on hold. Mm-hmm. But he always tells me that, our family is successful. We do have good boys. They do well in school. Financially, we are okay, and it's because I handle the money. So he makes me feel better about, what I have done for the family. So, and I know that, but I'd like to be able to, like I said, have a career, have a meaning to my life. So.
Okay. So you outlined kind of a lot of things that stress you out. You seem to have some good communication with your husband. He supports you. So coming here to the counseling, what's the one thing that you would like in an ideal world to achieve in our sessions?
Well, one, self-confidence. I think that's probably the biggest issue I do have. Like I said, at the age of 37, I don't sit in a classroom with a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds really, really intimidates me. Having to go back and learning, math, college algebra, it's horrible after 20 years of being out of school. So I guess the self-confidence would help me personally to be able to go out in that career and go out and find that job, go out and go to school, or go out and actually do something with my life.
Right. So you bring up college kind of on a separate route a couple of times so far already. Of the two, if I was to give you a choice of which one you were to not have in your life anymore, would it be the PCS stress, obviously, because PCS sounds like it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
But would you rather get rid of the stress of a PCS or the stress of the college?
I would say the stress of the college. The PCS, I've dealt with over the years. I guess the stress that comes with the PCS is me not having the education, or me not having the means to be able to pick up somewhere and get a good career or have a good career, because I don't have the education. So it just seems like we're never in a place long enough to either get an education or, have a steady job.
Okay. So those are some pretty big goals, and I understand that that's your best case scenario. So do you have a goal that if we don't achieve it, like what's your minimum goal here? Like everything would be lost if it wasn't for this one, possibly one last little thing. Maybe not on a grand scale, something a little scaled down.
Well, like I said, the self-confidence definitely would. I would just really hope to gain confidence in myself, and possibly resources. If there's any way that you guys can help me, help with resources as far as education-wise, or career building exercises and whatnot. So.
Okay. So since you've called and made the appointment, has anything changed for the good or better since today?
No, I mean, basically things are the same. I find myself having to get out and, like I said at the beginning of the interview, is exercise is my go-to to de-stress. So that is one thing I have picked up since I've last called.
So what have you, outside of, you mentioned the exercise, is there anything that you have achieved so far? Like what have you purposely went out and tried to do to handle your stress?
One thing I have done is gone out and found a place where I can volunteer, and it's just once a week, 3 hours, but I get the interaction with people, and I feel like I'm needed and wanted. Although this volunteer job doesn't give me a pay, I do feel good about myself. So that is one thing that I have done to, make me feel better about myself.
Okay. So I guess the biggest thing that you're seeing is just occupying of your time. It's a lot of a time stress. Do you feel that you're making headway, especially you bring up to college, or do you feel that it's going towards something? Do you feel that it's serving a purpose?
Absolutely. I've started. That was my biggest issue, is just starting So I've gotten through the admissions process, and I'm on my way to my last math class. I had to take a few in order for me to get onto the college level, and it's just been very stressful. But I'm taking it one at a time. I think that I am building, all this, but I still need to stay focused. I still feel like I have a long way to go with college, but I don't want to say, well, we're moving again and I've got to start all over again. It's not an excuse. I know that we have online courses now that's easy to access colleges and whatnot until wherever we're going next. So we do have a move up in August, and I have to start, making sure that I'm ready to pick up at our next duty station.
How many times throughout, the career that your husband's had, the military, how many times have you started and stopped college?
Oh, I've been to, I think, 4. I believe 4, and this is since I was in my early 20s. So yeah, 4 times. Yep. And so I've had to find transcripts and whatnot, and see if courses are compatible with other schools and whatnot.
Of
So
course.
yes, that is another reason why going back to college is very tough, because I don't want to have to start all over, but it seems like most of the times I do. So yeah.
So just taking everything that you've given tonight, it really sounds to me like the repetition of having to start over, not only in college and then as you evolve and get older, like your courses change or expire and you continually have to start over, and with your physical life, you keep having to move duty assignments, you start over a new job, the kids have to start over. What do you think the biggest factor of, I guess, that's opposite of that? What would be the one thing that's in your life that's opposite of all the change that you think is maybe a strong point for you?
My family. They always are consistent, no matter what. My family is always strong. They always make me feel good about myself. They always pick me up when I'm down, and just seeing them succeed and them be okay with change makes me say, okay, I got to pick myself up. So that is the one consistency I do have.
Do you feel that your kids, especially, that they see the stress, or how do they react to it?
I have 2 boys, and they're really great. So I've been very blessed. They seem to do very, very good. Yeah, I that is one thing that I feel that keeps me going is them. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've obviously identified, all the continual change in yourself and that repetition of change and really the starting over, I think is really a big factor. Do you take any steps to make sure that your kids don't start to feel that same way?
Most definitely. We make sure that wherever we go, that we see the beauty in whatever state that we're in, even if it's dry Texas heat. We try to make nice trips to the river or whatnot, and so I think family bonding and taking the kids on vacations and whatnot, that is the one thing that we want to explore. We want to make sure that the kids are living life regardless. We're having to pick up and move, but yeah.
So family time and especially trips, obviously are not a daily activity.
Yeah.
Is there daily activities perhaps that you do for them, that work that you see that maybe you could kind of exercise in your own life to minimize the stress?
Well, 100% being involved in school. And there's soccer and football, and making sure I'm that soccer mom, and I may go overboard sometimes, but it helps me along with, I think, and they do appreciate it. There are times where they're exhausted, but they say, Mom, I do appreciate what you're doing. So it makes a difference, I think, in their world for me to be there for them.
All right, and you're really super